As you can see, there are no more Palestinians here. They essentially pushed all of them out, and now the army is here, the settlers are here, and that's it. I didn't know anything about what was happening here, so I just got my Israeli passport because I'm Jewish, and it was very easy. But then I spent time here and learned more and more about the occupation and became progressively more horrified. And felt like it's my obligation, my responsibility to do something about it. Up there is a flock of the settlers, and they're throwing stones. So apparently the settlers invited soldiers and the border police in order to defend them from us, the most dangerous people in the West Bank. One of the reasons there is such an increase in violence in the West Bank is not simply like in response to October 7th, but it's in response to the fact that there is a lot of international attention in Gaza and it's shifted from the West Bank.
رجال الإطفاء الحمد لله على كل حال.
At the beginning of the war, I was in a community called Rashash. It no longer exists. I was there for a month, and they left after the neighboring community was attacked by a number of settlers in military uniform. My colleagues were essentially taken hostage, tied up, undressed, and left on the floor in the building for several hours while the settlers tortured two Palestinians outside. And after that attack, they also threatened to just come and commit a massacre if the village doesn't leave. Palestinians who are openly doing activism, they are targeted both by the IOF and by the settlers, and it increases the chances of attacks against you, of arrests. When activists show up with cameras, oftentimes they just leave. They just get up and leave because for them, this low-level harassment is not worth the trouble of publicity. And the more publicity there is in the West Bank, the slower it can be, the process of ethnic cleansing. Settlers just set up another outpost right next to the river. We know that there is an impact. We know that what we're doing works. The issue is that we're not really solving the problem. What we're doing is putting out fires. There needs to be international pressure. This ideally needs to be done by somebody else, by somebody who won't end up in such a situation, who won't be so vulnerable to the settler attacks and the lawless IOF actions.